Triambakam yajamahe sugandim pushtivardhanam urdvarukamiva bandhanan mrityor mukshiyamamratat. Om Triambakam yajamahe sugandim pushtivardhanam urdvarukamiva bandhanan mrityor mukshiyamamratat. Om. Squash hanging on a vine, and there's a release that happens when the squash is mature, and it's our unbinding, it's our attaching to the things of this world. This is Vini Yoga. Vini Yoga in the tradition of Krishnamacharya. And his son, Desikachara, my teacher was a student of his son. So this is the connection of that lineage branch. Okay? And the linking of the breath with the movement. This is the essential picture of this style of yoga. So take a breath, and we'll start the movement going inward as the breath is our guide, our vehicle, and the source of our attention. And the connection with the breath is the connection with awareness. So just look at your breath right now, how it is, without doing anything to change it. Just feel it, sense it, tune in with it. Just notice how it feels to you. Its texture, it's tight, it feels easy. So now let's start intentional breathing. So 12 breaths and 3 sections of 4 breaths each. So the first 4 breaths, increasing inhale and exhale, using ujjayi breathing, which is ocean breath, it's called in some schools. It's the contraction of the uglatis right here. It's the sound that we make when we whisper. But we're doing it, we're contracting it through the void, through the throat, so the air is passing through the throat and the nose, not through the mouth. Always through this practice, we're breathing in and out through the nose. So increasing inhale and exhale, same length, but each subsequent breath just a little bit longer of an inhale. The ujjayi breathing helps elongate the breath to help with this process of increasing inhale, exhale. And now 4 breaths with a pause of 2 seconds after inhale, 2 seconds after exhale. And then 4 more breaths at the level that we are right now, just extending still on this new plateau. 4 more breaths. No hold after inhale, exhale. So let's tune in now, just looking at our state of mind. And just see what has changed just with doing those 12 breaths. And seeing how the breath has already changed. It doesn't take much to change our consciousness. So just note that any time during the day you can stop. If anything's going on, if you need a break, if you need to chill out, somehow we got upset or agitated, just sit and do 12 breaths and look at the change. Stretching through the spine, and now let's lay on our back.
Okay. So hands on top of the knees with the fingers pointing towards the feet. We're going to be mimicking this forward bend. So take an inhale and exhale, pull your knees toward your chest. That's the movement of this grounded forward bend on the floor. This is the most gentle forward bend we can do, but we're going to be initiating internal core activation. So we're not going to move the knees toward the chest. We're going to resist. So with about a light to medium resistance, inhale and exhale, pull on the knees, but don't let the knees move toward the chest, and just feel the low back push into the floor. And then on inhale, release, and just feel the unwinding of that contraction. And exhale, pull the knees toward the chest, but the knees don't move. Same amount of resistance. We're just going to do this a couple more times. A light to medium resistance. And on inhale, just feel the unwinding, and exhale, pulling the knees toward the chest without movement, resisting. And then one more time on inhale, feel the unwinding and pull. That's just warming things up in there. So now, about a medium, more of a medium. So pull a little bit stronger and feel the low back push even more intentionally into the floor. Inhale, release. And 75% towards maximum, so a little bit stronger even yet. Pull and feel the low back push into the floor, causing the whole core to engage and release. And then this last movement, as strong as you probably can, more of 100% of a strength pull, resisting and release. And so now we're going to do the same thing, pulling with resistance, strong like that, and stay there for 4 breaths. So we're pulling, inhale, still pulling, still resisting over the next 3 breaths. They don't have to be so long and so slow. It can be a little bit shorter because of the intensity. And now we're going to gradually release this. So on inhale, release a little bit, exhale. Inhale, release a little bit, exhale. A little bit more, exhale. So over those 4 breaths, Releasing, bring your feet to the floor. And just feel the release, just feel the let go. Feel the heaviness of the body as it sinks into the floor. Good. So, now we're going to have the same starting movement, having our hands on top of our knees. And so inhale, we're going to let the knees fall out to the side. Don't let it fully go 100% toward that attachment in the inner thigh. And exhale, gently pull the knees together with resistance. Inhale, open up. Not to maximum, and then exhale, resist. Just a gentle resistance, not too strong. Inhale, open. Exhale, resist. So one medium to long breath to inhale and exhale. One breath. So now we're going to take 2 breaths. Inhale, open the knees. Exhale, bring the knees together. So it's going to be a little bit slower. Get about halfway, stop, inhale. Exhale. Finish bringing the knees together. So as we're doing this, now 3 breaths. So the whole point of the linking of the breath with the movement is we're going to exhale as we're moving the knees together. So 1/3 together, 1/3 the way together. Inhale, stop the movement. Exhale. The exhale goes as long as the movement goes, and we stop the breath, stop the movement. Inhale. So that was 3 breaths to close the knees. Now we're going to go 4 breaths. Slower even yet. Exhale, 1/4 of the way. Linking the breath with the movement. Inhale. So this is segmented movement today. So we're halfway there. 3/4 away. And squeeze the knees together for a couple seconds and release. Again, on that inhale and the opening of the legs, feel the release in the core of the abdomen. And exhale. 5 breaths now. Slow movement. Feel the work. You might feel a slight trembling in your low abdomen. Really engaging the core here. Inhale. 6 breaths now. Last movement. First movement, there's hardly any movement towards closing the knees. Really feel the engaging of the inner thigh. Strengthening. Squeeze the knees together and release. Feet to the floor and just feel that let go. Just tune into that work and just feel the unwinding. At the same time, we're strengthening. So now place your elbows on the floor and your hands on the sides of the upper thighs, and then lift your feet off the floor and it's stretched through the inner thighs, pushing through your heels, but don't. So the arms are there to support the legs, so that we're not going against the attachment. Again, we're not going to stretch this 100%, but just feel a gentle stretch in the inner thighs. And go around with your feet in circles, one way and the other way. So your legs are stretched out. We're stretching the inner thighs, and your elbows are on the floor. And so your elbows are supporting the legs there as you stretch the inner thigh. So open your legs out and feel the stretch in the inner thigh, right?
But the hands, the elbows are there on the floor to just help you not go too strong into the stretch, right? Go heels, toes, heels, toes. Yeah. So we haven't been doing that every time, but this is good. And then bring the knees together, bend the feet to the floor. And just tune in and feel that. So now the hamstring. So we're working the legs. So today you got your hands behind your knees. So lift your left foot off the floor. Hands behind the knees. So pull your knee toward your chest and then extend your heel toward the ceiling. And so feeling that stretch, we really want to activate the hamstrings and exhale, release. So the sense of pulling the knee toward the chest, bend your knee to release that, Maggie, in between, and then pull the knee toward the chest. And now with the knee bent, extend your heel toward the ceiling and feel that. And then straighten the leg as you want, but you really want to feel that activation of the hamstring. Exhale, release. Inhale. Don't want to lock the knee. So the hand behind there is just giving this feeling of support and intention to not lock the knee. So once again, pushing. And now, circles one direction. And then the other direction. And bend the knee one more time. Then inhale. And then inhale up. Heels, heels, toes, heels, toes. Now when you're doing the heels, that's when you can really sometimes extend the leg too much and stretch too much behind the knee, but we don't want to lock the knee, okay? So, and then exhale, release that, and then last time, pull the knee toward you, and then extend the leg and feel that hamstring. So, pulling that leg toward you now is what we've normally been doing, but I wanted you to start doing it throughout this whole movement so that you could feel that specifically engaging the hamstring and avoiding the overstretching of the knee. So find that edge, pushing your heel toward the ceiling, breathing. So on the inhale, breathe into the tightness in the hamstring. Feel it soften. You can pull your knee toward you a little bit more just to engage that. Keep it engaged over 4 breaths and then release. And then the other leg. So, bringing the knee toward the chest. Inhale, push the heel toward the ceiling, grabbing behind that. Just grabbing behind the knee for support. And release 4 times. Good. And rotating the feet. Next time, circles. Yeah. Ways. And then release. Then heels and heels, toes, heels, toes. Feeling the hamstring engaging. Protecting the knee. Good. And then release that one more time. And now extend once again, pulling the knee toward the chest, feeling the hamstring engage. So going right into the tightness, that area. Breathe your inhale right into the body of that muscle group. Good. Find that edge a little bit more if you want. exhale, release. Good. Take a breath. And then roll over to your left side. So,
you all there? Okay, put a pillow under your head. Bend the bottom leg. The top leg is extended straight, so just look down and make sure that the leg is straight, going away from the hip. And then flexing the foot, inhale, raise the leg as high as you can, straight up to the side. Feel the engagement here in the outer thigh. And then bring the leg down, not all the way to the floor. Inhale up. And then exhale, bringing the leg to parallel to the floor. A couple more times. Don't let the foot turn out, but keep it flexed and parallel to the floor. Feel that contraction on the outer thigh. And then hold for 4 breaths, parallel to the floor. Feeling the work. And then inhale, external rotating as we push the toes toward the ceiling. Exhale, release. Inhale, rotating the foot toward the ceiling. Exhale, release. 2 more times. Good. Bend the knee, bring it in front of the body as you extend the lower leg. Again, foot is flexed. So we're inhaling, raising the low leg as high as you can. You're not going to get as much lift as the other side. This is going to be working internal rotation on this side. Inhale, raise the leg. Exhale, don't let it go back to the floor. Keep it working 4 times. And then we'll stay with the foot lifted off the floor for 4 breaths. So this kind of work with this posture is a little bit stronger, so that we don't have to do as long and slow of a breath. Do more intentional, medium length breath. And then inhale, rotate the toes toward the ceiling, same as before, but now this is internal rotation on the other side. Exhale, release. Inhale, rotate the toes toward the ceiling. Exhale, release. 4 times. When you're doing this on your own, any of these postures, you can do more than 4, but 4 repetitions is just a good way to move through the practice. And after the 4th time, lower the leg, bend the knees and just feel. That's this deep core work in the pelvis, the hip rotator group, activating these muscles toward the stability of the hips, and then let's roll over to the other side. So same thing on this side, bottom leg bent, top leg extending straight away from the body. Just look down and see that your leg is straight. And then inhale, foot flexed, raise the leg as high as you can. But this is gradual movement. Inhale up through all these postures, gradually taking each one just a little bit stronger than the one before, but just giving ourselves a sense of easing into these postures. The main purpose, or the main effect, is that we want to have a good practice with nobody getting injured. So after 4 repetitions, hold it parallel to the floor. This intentional movement of the breath and the movement of in the posture is It's the way we protect ourselves in these postures. After 4 breaths, inhale, rotating the toes toward the ceiling. Exhale, release. 4 times. And release. And bend the knee in front, foot in front of the body, bottom leg extended, inhale, 4 times. Raise the leg. And hold for 4 breaths. And inhale, rotating toes toward the ceiling, internal rotation from this side. Release that. And bend the knees, and just again, just tune in and feel the work. So through these preliminary postures, we're going every direction that we can with the legs, and it's more than not, these are strengthening moves. So this could be called the strength of yoga. Equally needing to strengthen as much as stretch. So let's roll over onto our tummies. And a little bit of an investigation again. So arms by the sides with the hands next to the head. And we're going to tuck the chin. So just feel the chin lock. So the chin lock is bringing the chin almost to the chest so that the hairline is almost touching the mat. Just stay there for a breath and feel how that affects the low back. And then release that, bring your chin to the mat. And we'll do this a couple more times. So, chin lock, way more than just a simple tucking of the chin. Take a breath and feel how that feels in the low back. We're pulling up on the spine, causing extension through the spine, and it's going to affect all the way down to the tailbone. One more time. Chin lock. Feel the low back. And now just bring your forehead to the floor. So just enough of a tuck of the chin to protect the nose from getting squished too much. And just feel that for another couple breaths. Subtle movement of pulling up on the spine from the back of the head. It's affecting the whole spine. So now a little investigation. Just raise the head. Raise the head and see how simple it is. Just raise the head, forehead back to the ground. That took nothing. So now, I want you to feel the fulcrum of pushing the bottom of the rib cage, and just raising the upper torso from the bottom of the rib cage, by pushing the bottom of the rib cage, and then lower the head again, so that the chin is slightly tucked. So this time I want you to really focus on how much you have to push your pubic bone into the floor. So on inhale, we're going to push the pubic bone into the floor, until the whole upper body wants to lift off the floor. It's quite a bit of push to feel that whole integrated upper body lift. And again, on inhale, push the pubic bone into the floor until you can feel the whole upper body lift. And exhale down, release. This time, tuck your tailbone a little bit. Feel that reverse rotation of the pelvis as you're pushing your pubic bone into the floor. It's causing the whole upper body to get lighter, wanting to lift off the floor, and then exhale down. So this last time, we're going to rotate the pelvis backward as we push the pubic bone, pushing, and just lifting the whole upper body off the floor. So now the forehead is off the floor an inch or so, and just notice how it naturally wants to lift the legs, because it's the center of the body and it's becoming this fulcrum. So the legs are off the floor, not using the hands at all, or arms. Legs are just off the floor an inch, the foot off the floor an inch, the forehead off the floor an inch. We're just hovering off the floor for 4 breaths. The chin is tucked, the tailbone is tucked, so we're pulling away in 2 vectors, up and down, creating extension through the whole spine. And then exhale down. Rock side to side. Just feel the release in the lumbar area, in the low back. Deep core movement. Deep core movement, hopefully achieving this feeling of extension through the spine. So with the forehead still on the floor, bend the knees and reach back and grab above the ankles, the shin bone just above the ankle, and just pull gently your heels toward your butt. Just feel a stretch in the quadriceps muscle. So after 4 breaths, lift your forehead off the floor, still tucking the chin. 4 breaths here. So with shorter, more staccato type breaths, I want you to segment it now. On inhale, pull your heels away from the butt just a little bit. Exhale. Inhale, pull just a little bit more as it's causing the upper body to lift. Inhale again. Movement by movement. Let the shoulders rotate outwards. Open the chest. Keep the chin tucked. Breath by breath, we're lifting into the bow. And so after you feel a good maximum lift, stay there for 4 breaths. Feel that openness in the chest, rotated the shoulders rotating outward, arms rotating outward. And then exhale, release. Exhale, release. Segmented back down. Segmented back down. Release. And finally let go. Legs to the floor. You can turn your head to the side. And just take a few breaths. Turn the head to the other side. Cheekbone on the floor. Just feel the release through the spine. Good. So when you're ready, come up onto your forearms and bring your arms tight to the side. The upper in your armpit area, upper rib cage. Feel your arms snug against the sides. And we're going to go up into the elbow plank. So you're going to lift your butt to get a nice flat planking feeling. A short inhale and a little bit of a longer exhale. We'll do this over a minute. So you can focus on the breath. So it would be like a 1 second inhale, a 3 second exhale, 1 second inhale, and feel that exhale. Feel the flattening as you exhale out and fully exhale. Feel that flattening below the navel, bringing the abdomen to the front of the spine and holding that exhale and that contraction there. Inhale supports that. Exhale is holding that contraction. This is the deep core stabilizing of the abdominal area. Core strength. I'm going to try to stay toward a minute. Okay. Almost a minute. There you go. Good. So you can lower yourselves down. So bring your stay on your forearms and hike up your knees. So you're on your forearms, hike up your knees. And then this feeling of rotating the pelvis forwards as you drift backwards with your butt towards your heels. But you're staying, you're not actually going all the way butt to heel. Your forearms are on the floor, rotating pelvis forward, and just moving backwards. It's as much your head coming down toward the mat. Inhale forward, and exhale. Rotating the pelvis forward as you move backward, head toward the mat. Butt does stay up off the heels a little bit. This is rotating the pelvis forward, is flattening the back. So we're going into child's pose, but it's not a roundedness yet. You want to stay with this flattening. One last time, rotating pelvis forward, moving back. Then move your elbows, your forearms back toward you as you are into this child's pose with the flattened back, heel, the hips and butt is up off the floor. But a nice flat back. That's really good. Does that feel good? Mm-hmm. Good. So then let's come up on the hands and knees. And now we'll start to feel that roundedness in the low back. So inhale, rotate the pelvis forward. Feel the curve of the spine. And exhale. Come all the way down. Forearms to the floor, rounding the low back. And just sense that feeling. If that feels good, rotate the pelvis forward, causing the lumbar spine to curve, and then exhale, rounding the low back. A couple more times. You can investigate not taking the butt all the way to the heels, rounding the low back and just lowering the head. Just gauge for yourself what feels better. What is giving more of a sense of freeing up the spine in the lumbar area. Okay. So back up on to all fours. And we're going to do this abdominal lift, Uddiyana Bandha. The first lock we did was a chin lock, playing with that in the cobra. So this one is going to be the abdominal lift, which is called Uddiyana Bandha lock. So we're all fours, inhale and exhale. fully exhale out. Squeeze that exhale out as far as you can. Hold after exhale and move backwards. And feel the natural lift in the core of the abdomen. Take another inhale on all fours and exhale. See if you can do that from 2 to 4 repetitions. So squeeze the exhale out. Hold after exhale. Moving forward and backwards and just feeling that engaging. If you can do that 4 times, then come back to neutral. Inhale, exhale. Hold after exhale. Do it another series of 4 movements. The more you squeeze out the exhale, the stronger you're going to feel that lift. It's just toning the whole internal abdominal area, which is really important for the stabilization of the back. And then, so without moving backwards, let's just try in this posture. You're going to exhale, hold after exhale, and just feeling, hold after exhale, and lift through the abdomen. There's a little thrust afterwards back to neutral, and lift. This is one of the postures that you can do that movement in, but the initiating of it through the hold after exhale and moving backward and forward is just the natural engaging of that to access that particular function. Feel good? How we doing over there?
Good.
All right. So let's go into the hip rotator. Like that. Stretch. Forearms on the floor. Hands out in front of you. We're going to inhale and lift and exhale. We're laying on the side of the leg with the knee bent. The more you move your leg straight, the stronger it's going to be. But if you angle your leg in toward the center, it's going to be a little milder. So exhale down, inhale up. So when we exhale down, we're not putting all of our weight on the leg yet. So exhale down. Inhale up. 4 movements like that. And then let's stay down. We stay down. Feeling more of the weight on the leg. Really starting to access this stretch in the hip rotator area on the side. 4 breaths. And then inhale up onto your hands and bend the knee. Release. 4 times. Don't hold that. Just move that through that contraction. If you hold it too strong, too long, you can get a cramp there. So then let's do the other side. So feel the leg on the side. And you really want to come square to the center. So adjust your upper body so that it's pointing straight. And then inhale and exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. 4 times.
gradually taking it deeper once again. And then we'll stay down. So more of your weight is on the leg. Just find that place where you feel the stretch. If you need to, if it's intense, you can move your knee angling more toward the center. Four breaths there. Then inhale up and bending the knee 4 times. This is to work the knee joint without load bearing, without weight bearing on it. Very strengthening and giving space to the knee joint. Good. Come out of that. Let's move into the lunge. So left foot forward. Just make sure as you're in the full lunge that the knee is above the ankle. So you can be with your hands on the floor. It takes you a little lower, or if you want to have your fists on the floor. It's an interesting way to support your wrist. So again, we're making sure that we're square to the front. And then inhale. Sink into the right side and feel that stretch, but don't go 100%, just gently. And then exhale, release. So again, like maybe 80%. Inhale. Maybe a little bit deeper. You can either have the front of your foot on the floor, or if you want to be up on your toes, whatever feels better for you. Exhale, release. Inhale into the stretch. Now you can maybe start to take it a little bit deeper, but we want to be very careful with the groin, not to overstretch. It's real easy in a lot of classes to push that to a maximum. Just find the stretch and feel the stretch. Gentle. So after 4 repetitions, maybe we're a little bit lower now. We can put our hands on the floor. So stay for 4 breaths. Again, just avoid that tendency to push all the way to where you're tugging on the attachment there. You really get a lot of stretch without going to the maximum. And then inhale, bend the knee. Feel how that feels through the leg and in the groin. Taking it a little bit deeper. Again, don't stay held in that contraction. 4 times. Hopefully that feels really good on your knee joint there, Benjamin. And the other side. So square to the center, to in front, and then inhale. Move into that stretch in the groin and exhale, release. When you release, you can drop your head, inhale forward, gently moving into the stretch of the groin. Four times. Now we'll stay for 4 breaths. Use your breath and go into that area that's tight. And then bending the knee 4 times. Inhale, bend the knee and release. Good. Come out of that. Where do we want to go from here? On our knees. And the angel called Maggie So we're on our knees. So an inhale, gonna reach up, drop the shoulder blades in the back, palms facing each other. And exhale, we're gonna bend forward as we internally rotate, turning the head to the left, bringing the back of the hands over the sacrum, and reach out and put your cheekbone and temple on the floor, sink into that full exhale, and then inhale, head to center. We bring the arms up, palms facing each other, drop the shoulder blades in the back. Exhale, turn the head to the right. Sink the cheekbone and temple into the floor through that exhale. And inhale, head to center. We'll repeat this 3 more times. Palms facing, drop the shoulder blades in the back, turn the head to the left. Fully exhaling, sink into that. If you want, you can take an extra breath down. Feel that stretch through the neck. Head goes back to center. Externally rotating until the palms are facing each other. Drop the shoulder blades in the back. Head turns to the right. Exhale. Inhale. So as we're getting deeper into it, you can really sink further into that stretch into the neck, dropping the shoulder blades in the back, turning the head to the left. Take an extra breath here. Head to center. Dropping the shoulder blades in the back, palms facing each other at the top. Exhale, turning the head to the right. So investigate, take this extra breath here and just feel that stretch, how it goes into the upper back. And head to center, and we'll do it 1 more time each side. Drop the shoulder blades in the back, palms facing each other, and then head turns to the left. One last time, shoulder blades drop in the back, palms facing, head turns to the right. Exhale down. Stay here for an extra breath. Good, head comes to center. Inhaling up, dropping the shoulder blade, and arms come down. And let's step up. That is classic Vinyasa, where you've got this movement, internal, external, at the same time you're doing this to help mobilize the neck and shoulders. There's nothing like it. How are we feeling? Okay? Huh? Really? What can we do? Is there anything you want to... We're doing it. Like this?
Yeah.
Like just qigong, feeling, weight on the heels. Just hold on to this imaginary ball of light. It's weightless. And our whole held posture with the arms is weightless. Tailbone slightly tucked. Weight on the heels. Just holding this energy ball. Feel how the pecs want to jump up and down. Have enough force in the thrust of the movement to feel that. Chin slightly tucked. I'm waking up with the birds. All right, I'm going to take my socks off here. Any requests from the peanut gallery? So, well, we're just standing here. Let's bring our feet out a little bit. Inhale and bring the hands to the chest. The courage of the lion. Inhale and exhale. Bending the knees, inhale up. So bending the knees. Big eyes, big tongue. Bend the knees when you're doing this, coming down, bend the knees. Good. So, maybe it's just time to sit. Just check in. Just make sure there's no tension in your legs, all the way down to the pelvic floor, in through your hips. Any gripping, any place you feel any gripping, even through the practice, just tune in every once in a while into your posture. In the practice of this sit, just feel to make sure there's no gripping anywhere. Our mind can get activated with thoughts and we'll find ourselves gripping. So just feel where you're touching the mat, you're touching the pillow, where your hands touch your knees, or you just feel a sense of relaxation through the body. The belly's relaxed. The diaphragm's moving down on inhale. So we want the belly relaxed. So that can be unimpeded. Diaphragm comes up on inhale. Just tune in and just feel your breath right now. Just feel how the breath feels. Imagine a nose right at the sternum. You're breathing through that nose right there where the diaphragm is. Feel the stillness. Feel the expansive awareness, spacious awareness inside.